Mio Viaggio, my journey. As we travel through life, we are faced with many things, some joyful and happy, others poignant or even heartbreaking. These milestones become part of our lives by the lessons they have taught us and the wisdom we have gained. These life moments are the events and memories that not only frame our lives, but have shaped and defined the women we have become.
You know, I was the youngest of 5, lots of extended cousins, so my family was so good at giving me roots, but was so great as they gave me wings so that I could go.
From the beginning of time, women have shared their experiences with one another for support, comfort, and courage. This willingness and openness gives us strength and shows us that we are not alone.
The first charm that I actually chose was for my faith. It's praying hands, and faith is my core.
And I really thought, in terms of my life, I think there's kind of one thing I always think of, and that's roots and wings. And that saying goes where you want to give your children roots, but you also want to give them wings.
My first charm is a set of cross-country skis and poles, and my husband and I fell in love while we were cross-country skiing.
The first one that came to my mind was a Gaelic charm, because
even the significance of April 28th, just to be able to put numbers on here. Some of us have some numbers that are so significant in our lives.
One of the charms that I chose was a circle, and when I was thinking about, what really was a representation for me and for my lifetime, when I thought about it, I initially thought about, the circle of life and the Lion King, because there's an element in that, in the Lion King that says, it is time.
Each experience and lesson is part of our own personal journey. Our legacy is found in the lessons and experiences that we pass down from generation to generation.
What I really love about the bracelet, though, is that this bracelet that I have in my hand, this metal that I'm touching, will be held and touched by ancestors of mine. It could be 100 years from now. They'll hold the very same bracelet and the very same charms, and they'll tell the story, and they'll know these intimate things about me, and they'll have a journal. They'll have the story of each little charm that their mother told them or their father told them, and that they will tell their grandchild, and it'll be intimate moments from my life, and they'll remember my name.
One of the unique aspects of a Viaggio bracelet is the original gathering. It is in this gathering that stories and experiences are first shared in a safe, encouraging, and honest setting. And in this trusted circle, a comforting sisterhood is formed where true feelings are expressed and life lessons shared and resolved.
Well, I think the first thing that I would like to say is that I feel very honored to be with these women that I only met for the first time in a classroom a couple of weeks ago, and we were discussing charms. And everybody was so open, so happy, and they were all discussing the charms which they wanted. They wanted their first baby. And I said, my first baby was not happy. When I was 17, I fell infatuated. I can't say in love. I can say at this point in time, I did love him, because I still do. But at that time, I fell infatuated. And on the 4th of July, the year I graduated from high school, I had my first sexual experience in the backseat of a car, and I became pregnant. My parents did not have very much, so we could not keep this child, and he was not willing to get married or take care of me. So I gave the baby up for adoption. They did tell me it was a girl, but that's all they said. So for 19 years, I drank hard, and I partied. I wanted to put that out of my mind. I had 2 other children before I found this little girl. But I did find her when she was 19 and I was 38. It has been wonderful. But for the 19 years, it was pure hell. And when I listen to women saying that we are strong, we are, and we try to hide things in different ways. I hid mine in a bottle. What I did to my 2 children after, I'm not proud of. I drank for the first years of their life, but I sure am enjoying them now. My oldest daughter is 44. I'm 62, and we have a great relationship. My other 2 children are in their early 30s, and I have 3 wonderful grandchildren. So the bracelet that I have, I've talked to both of my daughters and my son about this bracelet, and I said, there are happy times and there are bad times that are going to be on this bracelet. You will learn more about your mother from this bracelet than I can actually tell you.
I am so moved to be part of this experience with creating a legacy that we as women can share with our daughters and our granddaughters and our nieces. And family is so important to all of us. I know that. This is touching all of us. We all have such important stories to tell, and we need to share them, because this is what really living is about. If they can look at our lives and we say to them in tear-filled eyes that we have had lives filled with joy, what you are giving to that individual is hope. There's nothing more special and important and necessary than hope, except love. Perhaps that would come first, but hope is what gets us into the next day. Yeah. The next morning gets us out of bed. And so that's what I think that the Lord tells us, that if we share our stories, we can give hope to someone else. And so, yeah, this is another opportunity to be able to share our story.
You know, I kept a journal and I scrapbook and I document their lives. But this bracelet's an interesting way to do it in terms of thinking, you know, I'm starting with roots and wings, but I'll keep adding these other components that to really think of passing that down to them and really knowing that base that I wanted to give them. It's going to be interesting to pass that on to actually all of them. And when I think about the 2 boys as well as Lily, so here I'm thinking mine are all joyful stories, but I still cried even though I'm telling my story. But roots and wings, those are my charms.
I also have an eagle, a bald eagle. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. And I think it means serenity, and somebody's watching over me and just giving me peace. And I would just like to share that with my 2 boys someday. Very proud of them. Very proud of myself, which is hard for women to say, I think. But I am very, very proud of myself. I'm proud of my life. I'm proud of my boys.
Those are the significances of my charms that I've added to my bracelet that I know will go back to my daughter, will go back to her daughter, and will also be a part of my sisterhood of my friends and my sisters, which I'm very, very blessed to have in my life.
The Viaggio bracelet presents the opportunity to share your experiences, knowledge, and wisdom for generations to come. It is a living memory to be passed from mother to daughter to son to niece to grandchild. Your journey is unique. Let the legacy begin with you.